right. So, by the way, my name is Versatile, aka Alkebulan Trust Reacts. When it comes to all things reaction, you already see the title. You know what I mean? So you already know what time it is. So yeah, we're going to react. We're going to react to week 2 of the whole Diddy Trial situation. Bear with me as I get my notes up. But in case you didn't know, like, you see, when it comes to this particular case, you have to understand that. Give me a second. Let me get the notes up properly. You know what I mean, sir? Because I need you to understand. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka Alkebulan Trust Reacts, when it comes to all things reactions. Right now, we're going to react to the Diddy Trial, week 2. So yeah, man. Like, so sometimes, you know what it is. What tends to happen is some people will give their views and their perspectives, and they will tend to give it from not unbiased. They'll tend to give it from a biased perspective. You understand? So the issue with that is, it's better to be unbiased. Like, obviously, this is a federal case, so usually what happens is, when it's a federal case, like, they're in the position where they have all the evidence. You understand? They have all the evidence. I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say. They have all the evidence, yeah, to whatever he's charged of. Like, we've got, all right, forget Diddy for a moment, yeah. Just if it's any regular individual, yeah. Once they have the evidence, once they have all the evidence, all it takes is for them to take it to trial if they're going to be pleading not guilty, right? But if they got so much evidence and they, like, the defendant is like, okay, you know what, they're guilty, but like, if that I don't want to use certain words, but you know what I'm saying, like, but like, basically, that's where the plea deal comes in. You understand? They will offer them a plea deal in the first place. But if they don't want to take it, be like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? You don't want to take a plea deal, that's on you. You know what I mean? And even like with Young Thug's case, don't get it twisted. Some may say he's free, and he is technically. You know what I mean? But he's not free. Young Thug ain't free. Don't get that twisted. You know what I mean? We'll get to that another day if we need to, but I'm gonna keep it all the way up. So anyway, let's keep it moving. It's just all about the how federal cases work in a sense. How is they have the evidence. When it goes to trial, they present the evidence to the jury, or the jury selection, or the jurors, whatever, with the testimony. Everyone that needs to testify testifies, and then after that, the jury deliberate. They will either find the defendant or the person that is being accused either guilty or not guilty. It's that simple. You get it? It's that simple. Anyway, let's keep it moving. So, witness testimony on day 7. I want to get it from here. All right, so I'm gonna give you everything, like, in detail. I'm gonna look at the time and make sure that I'm not going overboard, all right? Because there's other things to react to. You know what I mean? Because I know some of you may have drained the live to want to see my update, my reaction to the football and stuff like that. So stay subscribed. Anyway, so where was it? So on day 7, where is it? Day 7? Give me a second. Yeah. So day 7 was on May 12th, right? So the overview is, on day 7 of Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial at the Daniel Patrick Moynihan U.S. Courthouse in New York, presided over by Judge Aaron Subramanian. 3 witnesses testified. David James, not David James, the former goalkeeper for England and that. You know what I'm saying? He was a cold goalkeeper. I can't even lie. But that goal that was conceded against Brazil from Ronaldinho, he's never going to forget that. Did he think he meant it? Oh, Ronaldinho definitely meant it. He's Brazilian. Anyway, let's go. All right, so, but not this David James. David James is a former assistant, continued on from day 6. So Regina Ventura, which is Cassie Ventura's mother, or gonna be Cassie's mother, and Sharai Hayes, a male escort known as the Punisher. That name is crazy. You know you got that fire. So I'm singing to that song that I just read to do. If you know, you know. Their testimony detailed Sean Combs' enterprise operations, control over Cassie Ventura's, and participated in the freak-offs. Drug fueled for you know, whoa, what got you careful the word using. Narcotics fueled performances, directly supporting the charges of racketeering, conspiracy, blank trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in, you know, P, in terms of P. Like, I can't even say the word. You know, like YouTube is a funny thing, bro. You have to be careful with the word you use. The trial, which began on May 12, 2025, addresses crimes, allegedly occurring from 2004 to 2024. That's over 20 years. So just bear in mind that timeline, because there's going to be some people you think that should testify, but they can't testify because at the end of the day, they wasn't there to witness the crime, unless they're doing a character reference. It's a different story. Like, for example, Gene Dill, he wasn't really there around no times. But let's keep it moving. So where was I? So Diddy has pleaded not guilty, with his defense arguing consensual relationships and challenging witnesses' credibility. Below, bear with me. So below, let me know what your comments. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think he is guilty or not guilty? That's why I want to know what your thoughts are. All right. So the context of the trial. By day 7, the prosecution, led by Assistant U.S. Attorney Marine Cormi, had called 10 witnesses, including Cassie, for days 2 to 5, 20 hours. Dawn Richards, day 6, right? And Kerry Morgan, day 6 as well. Establishing a pattern, their key word, pattern of violence, coercion, and freak-offs. The defense, led by Mark Agnafilo and Brian Steele, who was the lawyer for Young Thug. Now, like I said, you may think Young Thug beat a federal case, but he did not. It was a plea deal. He's free to, you know what I mean, move about. He's not in jail anymore, but he actually is, because of probation. Like, listen. But anyway, so Diddy may feel like he can use Brian Steele to have this, like, a similar effect, but it might not work out that way. Yeah, man. I can't predict the future and that, but it might not work out like that. You know what I'm saying? Sought to portray Ventura's petition as a voluntary and question witnesses' motives. Day 7 testimony deepened the prosecution's narrative of a criminal enterprise. All right, with James detailing logistic, Ventura's corroborating abuse, and Hayes confirmed paid encounters. The charges required proving Combs ran an enterprise with predicate acts, example, trafficking, narcotics trafficking, assault for racketeering, coerced victims into acts for trafficking, and facilitated interstate, you know what I mean, the P, or, you know what I'm saying, you know. So when you think about it in that context, right, you have to understand why this relates to one of the charges. You know what I mean? Racketeering, coercion, like, all of this is part of their charges. Like, come on now, let's really think. All right. So David James, the former assistant to Diddy, basically, he was an executive assistant at Bad Boy Entertainment for 2007 to 2009. He resumed his testimony from day 6, right? He described his role as supporting Chrome's lifestyle. Now, hear me out. What has his lifestyle, what is supporting his lifestyle got to do with his business as, as Bad Boy Entertainment? Like, do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, imagine you're working for an organization and they're telling you to work for, instead, you are doing a job where you're participating and helping them with their daily lives. You know what I mean? Like, what's that got? One could argue and be like, yeah, well, he has to live up to a certain lifestyle and this, that. No, but his job role is a former executive assistant at Bad Boy Entertainment, not former executive assistant for Sean Combs. Do you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Anyway, he described his role in supporting Combs' lifestyle, including preparing hotel rooms and witnessing Cassie Ventura distress, providing insight into the enterprise operations. Now, I know some people be like, oh, if it's a RICO, where's everyone else? Why aren't other people charged? Well, let's look at it this way. I don't know the details in regards to this guy here, right? But I'm pretty sure he must have got immunity or something like that. They must have come to an agreement with, with the Fed. Be like, look, we got all this evidence here. This, like I said, the Feds, I said it in the other life, the Feds, in order for them to have a success rate that they do, like over 90%, it's because they have all the evidence, yeah, and they use that as leverage to get a plea deal. Do you know what I mean? Or if they don't, if the person doesn't want to take a plea deal, that's on them, but they still get convicted regardless. Do you know what I mean? There's the Feds win either way. You know, like in the casino, when they say with the casino, yeah, like the house always wins. Well, the house always wins. In this case, the Feds always win. Like, you can't. I'm not saying nobody can beat the Feds, but it's more of the case of if you are genuinely innocent, then yeah, you can beat the Feds. But if you are genuinely guilty, you know what I'm saying, then you can't beat the Feds. You know what I mean? You need to pay for your crimes. Simple as that. But anyway, that aside, because obviously, if there's other people, you know what I mean, they're going to be like, okay, well, you're involved, you're involved, you're involved, you're involved. So if you tell us everything to do with who you were working for, then we will give you immunity. We will do this. We will do this for you. You know what I mean? Or we will still sentence you, but we will reduce your sentence. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it might just be that. But people may be thinking, well, yeah, but they should still be charged. But pay attention, stay focused. You know what I'm saying? That I don't think people understand. That clearly is complicit, someone being complicit to the lifestyle. They actually participate in helping. You know what I mean? So clearly he's, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep moving on. All right, so testimony details. All right, Enterprise family. James described a tight-knit staff culture, testifying Janice Combs called me her son at one point, referring to the Combs mother as Janice Combs. He said Bad Boy Records was described as family, and his mission was to make sure that Combs was happy and prepared for the day. This highlights Combs' central control over employees. Hotel room setups. James detailed procuring items for Combs' hotel ride and preferred items to be in a location before his arrival. Now, hear me out, right? In fact, let's just keep it moving. Including rubbers, you know what I mean? Astroglide, lubricant, Percocets, and Just for Men hair dye. You ain't got that Just for Men hair dye now, you know what I'm saying? Man, I got them grey showing and that. Anyway, he walked into Combs' hotel room and saw Cassie on the rug, distraught, suggesting she was recovering from an abuse or freak off. All right, so listen. So And that's more or less it on this particular day, yeah. But I wanted to also link it to the charges so you can understand why this is. You know what I mean? I went to this in the previous one, but I realized, you know what? Let's do it for the next one, so I don't. So I'm more prepared. All right. So racket. So why this testimony links to the charges is because racketeering conspiracy. James' testimony supports RICO 18 USC 1962 by detailing predicates acts like narcotic trafficking, example, cocaine, Percocets, and that P word, example, hotel setups for free cost is family. Description and rider duties show structured enterprises and bad boy staff to facilitate crimes. Now, look, when you think about when it comes to these type of behavior that's happening, why is it happening with an employee from a company? Do you know what I mean? So where was that? So cleaning up after free cost suggests obstruction, protecting Cohen's public image. It does. It does. You know what I'm saying? Um, Trafficking. James' account of Ventura's distraught on the rug corroborates her coercion into free cost per her day 2 to 5 testimony. His procurement of robbers and astrograph for the hotel room support the trafficking charges 18 USC 1591. Yeah, by enabling coerced acts with Ventura's distress, indicating lack of consent. Yeah, transportation for James Hotel preparation include for interstate trips, Miami implied by Mel's Diner facilitated. Wait a minute, isn't Mel Diner the same place where Keefe D alleged that the conversation was taking place in regards to the whole Diddy want paying $1 million or wanted to pay $1 million to basically, and look what happened to Tupac basically. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard that there was a diner, but I can't remember the name of it. If it smells diner, that is interesting. Anyway, facilitated with escorts like Hayes supporting the charges 18 USC 224 to 2004 to 2421 basically by showing Combs staff arranged venues for paid across states. This is just day 7, yeah, and there's so many things to genuinely go through, right? Right? There's literally so much things to go through. I don't want to like bore you or anything, but that's how it links to the charges, yeah? All right. But the most important thing is when people ask, oh, where is her mother? Where's her parents? Where's her family? Well, Regina Ventura, mother of Cassie, testified about Diddy's control over her daughter and disturbing $20,000 demand linked to tapes, providing emotional and evidential support for Cassie's allegations. Imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta understand it. That level of yeah, it's just distressing to even. But yeah, either way, that the link to the charge is racketeering conspiracy. Virginia's testimony supports RICO by detailing extortion, the $20,000 demand, and obstruction using the tapes to silence Cassie. Her account of isolation shows how Sean Combs' enterprise controlled victims using bad boys' resources. Example, example, access to Cassie's career to maintain power. Right? The bruised photos corroborated assaults, another predicate act. Do you not understand what's going on here? You know what I mean? All right. And that's RICO. Everyone wants to know where's the RICO? Where's the RICO? No, that's RICO. You know what I'm saying? That's RICO. You know what I mean? I know some of you want to be fun and be called it a RICO. No, this is literally a RICO. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So there's more to it. There's so much to it, but I want to get onto day 8 and then day 9. Do you know what I mean?